Good morning and welcome to my discussion about what affects healthcare as far as ethics goes in today's society. Today's discussion is going to reflect our feelings and our choices regarding end of life. Advances in technology, as far as it deals with advanced medical procedures for life, prolonged diseases, different types of cancers, medications, raises new questions. It brings to light end-of-life choices in healthcare. And that's the dilemma we're going to talk about today. I'll share with you things to consider when we are at that point, end-of-life point. Things to consider include various things that I feel, personally, the individual should choose. I'll share with you my personal experience. We'll talk about what the professional role is and see if you have any questions. Let's get started. Dying with dignity. Things to consider. Quality of life is the number one thing to consider. How much enjoyment out of life will this individual get if I do something heroic? Something heroic meaning CPR, put them on the ventilator, insert in a peg tube to feed them, different things like that. Who has the right to choose? Ultimately, it's the individual's choice. But if we don't discuss these things before it gets to that point, who chooses for them? That's a dilemma in itself. Artificial nutrition and hydration is another thing that needs to be concerned about when we're discussing end-of-life choices. Definitely consider, because you can keep a person alive for a very long time on artificial hydration and nutrition. Is that what they would want? Who really knows? That individual. Again, individual choice. Cultural and spiritual beliefs. Each culture deals with death differently. Some see it as an honor to have served their community, their loved ones, their time, per se, on earth. And to move on to the next life is an enjoyment. It's something that they love, want to do, look forward to doing. But for those who look at it as a punishment for something that they've done, something that they've said, something that they've neglected to do, how do you address that with them? How do you address that with the family? How do you make them feel comfortable with choosing what to do at the end of life? Who decides when to withdraw or withhold mechanical ventilation, life support? Whose choice is that? Who wants to be left making that choice for someone in an end-of-life situation? It's difficult. It's difficult as a person. It's difficult as a nurse. It's difficult as a nursing student. It's a difficult choice. Ultimately, advanced directives, planning ahead, is what we should promote. It's what would save others from making end-of-life choices for us. I'll share with you my personal experience regarding end-of-life choices. It involves my grandmother. She was diagnosed with a cancerous mass. She had a sudden onset of shortness of breath. We brought her to the emergency room, and they broke the news to us. She was not able to communicate because she was on the ventilator. They had placed her on the ventilator because her airway was closing off, constricted, closing off. She wasn't able to breathe. So she wasn't able to verbalize to us what she wanted done. They sedated her. So the point of asking her to write or asking her to finger was null and void because she didn't have that luxury. She was under sedation. So we were left to ponder, what would she want us to do? The suggestion was for surgery. They wanted to remove the mass, insert a tracheostomy, which is a hole in the throat to help you breathe, and put on the ventilator to see if she would recover, not when she would recover. The next issue was then hydration, nutrition. How do we do that? Tube down the nose, tube in the stomach. For how long? How long would it take for her to recover from that? And will she be able to go home? If so, in what condition? Will we have to find somebody to take care of her at home? Will we have to quit our jobs? Who's going to support the family financially? These are all questions that we had to answer. Boy, how I wish we had brought up the subject of advanced directives and living wills to Grandma. It was a hard choice to make. In the end, we had to do what we felt was best for her, when nobody really knew what it was that she really wanted outside of herself. So that's my personal experience. As a professional, your role is to educate the family, empower them to make the choice on their own, give them informed consent, all the information that they need to make the choice, the best choice that they can. You should always approach life, affirm it as a natural process. Dying is a natural process. It's something that we all must do. Nobody lives forever. So end-of-life choices can be made by the individual if they look at it that way. So bring it up. It's difficult, but bring it up. Hey, if such and such happens, what would you like for us to do? Do you want to have a peg tube? Do you want to be fed by a tube or by a machine? Do you want a machine breathing for you? Nobody really knows but the individual. So the take-home message here is that end-of-life choices should be made by the individual if at all possible. What really matters is what the individual wants. There's 10,000 things we can consider. There's reasons why we can rationalize what we've done. But in the end, if you take it upon yourself to make the end-of-life choices now, you won't have anybody in a dilemma feeling like they've done wrong or neglected to do the right thing when it comes to your life. So talk to your families, talk to your patients. As students, you'll be approached. People are going to think you're the expert on end-of-life dying choices. So my advice to you is to empower them with education, direct them to the outlets that they need, and ask them to make the choice for themselves. I hope that I have answered a lot of questions regarding this. I just wanted to share this with you all because I feel like it's something that we need to address more often, especially given technology. Technology has brought us a long way, but is it really worth it when you think about the condition that the person is in? So we're leaning more towards quality of life rather than duration of life. End of life choices. You be the judge. You choose. Thanks.